That was absolutely spectacular. You did great. I mean, seriously. You were up there for what, an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half? The boats were rocking you?
It's a long time.
Much closer to 2 hours.
There you go, 2 hours. You are awesome, sweetie. You got it all taken care of.
Meet LabMariner, our home in the water, and her crew. Anubis, the huntress. Jim, the captain. Mocha, the camera dog. Nuala, the greeter. And Stephanie, the cruise director. How's the planning going along?
I am becoming a application jockey.
You ready for us to make our trip? You got it all plotted and planned out?
The only thing that's not working for me right now is Google Fi.
Yeah, uploading.
Well, we can't get any service,
Yes.
and so I'm gonna have to go up high and hopefully get a better service.
All right, guys. You want the good news or the bad news? The good news is that we're headed to Wilmington. We're going to the beach house while we're there, and we're going to spend 2 whole weeks playing at the beach. Bad news? The bad news is that it's a really rocky sail ahead of us, and it's not going to be very much fun. All right, so you got to be prepared. You ready, Mocha? Ready, Nuala? Oh, I know. How about you, Anubis? You ready, Anubis? Oh, exactly. All right, let's get going. From Cape Lookout, we head out the channel into the Atlantic Ocean, where we have 100 nautical mile sail before reaching the channel into the Cape Fear River. Once we reach the Cape Fear River, we have another 30 nautical miles to reach the marina in Wilmington, where we've scheduled our boat repairs. So it is leg 2 of our sail down the East Coast.
Beaufort on to Wilmington, North Carolina.
And what do you think?
I think that we are going to learn a lot about sailing tonight. The reason why it's going to be a lot of lessons is we have our jack lines out. I've already used them because we have swells of 6 to 7 feet tonight, and the seas are confused, and our initial point of sail has the waves at our beam, so as you can tell we're going back and forth.
We're doing a lot of back and forth.
And so the first few hours are going to be lots of rocking and rolling before we get the waves at our aft, so we can surf down them. And then on top of that, the winds did not show up like Predict Wind had hoped they would, at least for the beginning, and so we ended up having to motor sail, or we would be even more confused. Here comes a big wave.
Oh my. We do have a beautiful sunset that's going on now. It's really pretty. So we are on leg 2 of our trip south down the East Coast. Leg 1 was super easy, and this one is just the opposite. We are seeing 16 to 21 knots of wind so far, and that's fine, but we're seeing waves between 6 and 7 feet. So it's been a rocky trip, back and forth, sloshing back and forth. It's been extremely hard getting around, but we're going to get used to it. I injured myself, as you can see. I slammed my fingers in the door when I was trying to close it, and it closed itself onto my fingers. So they've been bleeding, they've stopped. Hopefully they won't swell up too badly. The dogs are struggling if they're not used to these conditions yet, and the banging, the constant banging back and forth is definitely making them a little scared, but they are calming down a little bit. It's only been about 6 hours of this, so hopefully they will get used to it. We've got about 9 more hours out on the Atlantic before we start heading up into Cape Fear, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I did my 12 minutes of exercises, though it turned into about 15 minutes because it was hard to stabilize myself. It wasn't so easy. I had to hold on to something during the entire course of the exercises. But I got them done. It's keeping me awake, and now I only have about 40 minutes left on this hour before I can do my exercises again.
We head into the Cape Fear Channel as the sun begins to rise. Once we reach the Cape Fear River, we should experience protection from the wind and the waves. We see that sometime during the night we have torn our topping lift, so one of us will need to climb the mast once we reach our destination in order to repair this. We have 2 bridges to go under before we reach our destination. The first opens on demand. Unfortunately, the second bridge only opens twice a day, and we have missed the second time. Therefore, we'll have to stay overnight at a marina before we can go under the second bridge in the morning. We head into a marina in downtown Wilmington. While there, I decide to give the boat a thorough cleaning. We head out early because we want to make the first bridge opening. And then, after passing through the bridge, we turn into the marina where we'll be staying for several weeks.
Hi guys. So we finally made it to the marina in Wilmington. I know it was a rocky, painful sail, but we are finally here. So we are headed to the beach house, and we're going to be spending 2 whole weeks at the beach house. And while you're there, we're going to come back to the boat and do some repairs. I have to climb up the mast because we need to fix our torn topping lift. And I also get to go all the way up to the mast because I need to check for chafe on our main halyard. All right, you ready to go to the beach house? You guys ready? Anubis. Anubis, you ready? Okay, guess we're ready.
Here's the bozeman chair. So I want you to step through.
Okay.
Pull it all the way up.
All the way up, and this is the bilge for the stomach.
Can you hold those 2 together?
Yeah.
Okay, great. The blue line only goes up to about 2 feet below the mast height,
Okay.
and we want to get you ultimately to the very top.
All right.
Okay.
So we want to use, this one is the safety line,
Right.
and use the red one as the hoisting line.
I'm going to take you up slowly after we get it all put together. You're going to go just past the radar, and you're going to get the green line, and you're going to untangle it.
Okay.
Once you get a clear run to where it goes into the mast, then you're going to pull it down and get it all the way down to me. Okay. Alright, so here's our primary line with this seat. I'm just going to put it in, and we're going to use a bowline. That is
The hoisting line.
yes. This one's going to be a little tighter. Okay. using line is if this ever starts to slip, it's going to lift up and it's going to get underneath you. You will be safe, okay? So this is your primary line. I will always be hoisting you. You remember you're going to have to guide yourself up between the spreader and the radar.
Right, yeah.
And what I'll end up doing is I will always hoist you by this first, and I will take the slack out of this.
Okay.
See how that's going to feel?
Yes. Painful.
Yeah, push back.
All right. Good comfy there.
What everybody should always tell the person who's going up in the bozeman chair,
Yes.
if you ever feel uncomfortable, don't wait to speak up.
All right. Here we go. Fine. Yeah, I have
I
it.
spot the remaining portion of the topping lift and pull it down.
Pulling the green line down.
Jim is going to splice it to another line, which will replace the torn line. After we replace the topping lift, Jim is going to continue raising me to the top of the mast
hoist me
to
a little
check
bit
for chafe
higher.
on the main halyard.
Chafe on our manship halyard. Wow. That's pretty bad. Do you want me to try to undo the halyard? Wow. Wow. I don't think I'm going to get it. It's really tight. No. It's about the same as it was. All right. Cutting.
After cutting the main halyard, I retie a bowline below the chafed area to the cleat. I am now quite ready to head down.
Wow. Pretty high.
Take more blue!
I'm very, very impressed.
All right.
Spectacular. Think of all the things that you did on the fly once you were up there and it wasn't pre-planned and you just hung in there.
The cutting
You just hung in there and it was just so spectacular.
The cutting of the line was a good idea. Oh my God. Oh. All right.
Yeah, that bowline was locked in there.
I was like digging in with it, and I'm like.
I had the hardest time. I mean, just looking at the knot, it was really, really, the fibers had all tightened down on one another.
It was really bad.
So pups, what'd you think of this episode? What's that? 3 paws up! So if you're enjoying this episode, please remember to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel.